The story that always comes to my mind, I might have shared it before, but when it comes to leadership and management, is when I tried to raise money to buy a hotel. I did some fundraising, talk to investors in the US, and was traveling there, and they wanted to know, Philip, what is your vision? What is the plan for the hotel? How will the hotels change the whole city or branch out, and the whole world will be changed? And because
it's a typical American way of looking at the world. How do we change the world?
They didn't want to know the details. They want to know, how do we change the world? So I gave them the vision talk. So I was excited. On my way back on the plane, I wrote a whole new pitch about how this hotel is
to cast a vision,
how to and then I pitched before a German board. And I gave that vision talk, and I was ready, for them to actually sign up, move to the city, and actually run the place themselves, because they were so excited. And I remember the first question I got
from one of the board members. Yeah.
From one of the board members, a woman who asked, "So, Philip, how many toilets are there in the hotel?" And I looked at her and I said, I don't know. And she says, "So who's going to clean all the toilets?"
You, hopefully.
And then I realized that's the difference between Germans and Americans. The Americans, stereotype, of course, they want to know what's the big picture, what's the vision, how do we change the world? And then the German wants to know who is going to clean, the toilet. And matter of fact, we bought the hotel, and the cleaning of the toilets became a problem.
Became the biggest problem.
And reflecting basically on that alone, early on I realized if American philosophy and German philosophy comes together, it can be so powerful. Because you need that bigger vision. You need to have that motivation of why we're actually doing this venture, because we are all gonna get into very difficult and dark days where we don't know if we're gonna continue. And you need to motivate your people. You need to have that vision.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you need to know who cleans the toilet.